Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144. Let me say it again. The 144, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are, aligned up in the stars, doing what we are supposed to do right where we are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than 5D, the fifth dimension, the place to be. The timelines are shifting, splitting, everything is shaking and quaking. I know, but it's an exciting time. So, as usual, and specifically now, today, I am bringing you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with that light grid. And we are activating on the light grid. It is activating. We're feeling it. We're feeling the energy. So, if you're not infused, you can choose to refuse, which means you're going to be fried and on the grid, because it's going to be an energetic conflict, which is what's happening. Specifically, I want to speak right now. First of all, happy. What is this conjunct? Saturn. There's a Saturn. That's what I wanted to speak about too. Saturn conjunct with the North Node. Like they're passing each other. This is what I call the real PassOver. They're passing over. And there's a download I got about that I'd love to share. I don't know if I'll see if Spirit guides me to do it here. But in speaking about this, it's a closing out. And I'm speaking really clearly to the 144, which this is also a call to action for the 144 that is entering into high definition. And for those who don't know, let me briefly explain, because some people still think the 144 is a number of people. It is a frequency. It is an order of people who have reached a certain level within the frequency, so to speak, as 12 times 12, a completion times completion. That's the 144. 12 times 12 is 144. So there's a completion times completion. And it can be gathered in another way too. If you add up the numbers of the energy centers, those two equal 144. And what that's saying is, in true alignment of your energy centers, you have arrived, you may have reached to the frequencies of 144, which is like an order of people for those ones who have reached there in whatever their soul unfolding journey is, which means we have breached the carnal capacity, so to speak. We've reached that, and there is a major shift as we're shifting into the fifth dimension. We're already there in 5D, but there are levels within levels, as I've said before. So this 144 group, there's a select group right now, and you may hear others, you may see it. If you see it come up on your timeline, be careful of things that you're seeing over and over again repetitively, because the universe is going, yes, I'm talking to you. I am talking to you. You are the 144. This is for you and those who are on that same wave of frequency, which means there is a certain amount of, let's say, soul work that has been done, that has been gathered. And that 144 is coming to, let's say, a peak as the timelines are shifting. And it's actually also because we're doing what we have done, that it is coming to that peak, if that makes sense. It's like it's because of what is being done that is causing the it's all about collective consciousness. So it's where the collective consciousness is of this 144 group that is helping to shift the timelines as well. And because the energies, the cosmic frequencies, the cosmic design, the fabric in time, the cosmos are guiding us as well. And it's saying it is time. You have aligned and it is time. So there's a closing out. So this Saturn conjunct with Neptune is affecting everybody, but I'm speaking specifically to the 144 order, that 144 frequency ascendance, because we're feeling it. Those ones who are in that bracket, so to speak, are really feeling it in different ways, but it's to understand what this is also saying to us, right? For everyone, this is basically a closing out of the old. Saturn has to do with responsibilities. It is Like I like to call it the popo of the spiritual house, because it's in Pisces, the spiritual house, but it is really coming into to basically, knock things down. Like, hey, where's your verify, basically verify the truth resonance of your spiritual capacity, your spiritual house. I shouldn't even say capacity, because spiritual is infinite. Spirit is infinite. So to see where you are in your spiritual house, and like places, it highlights places where you're not being true to yourself. It's like, nope, you got to take accountability there. Nope, you got to show up for yourself there. And so it kind of brings us, it takes us aback. Saturn is the one that's going to give you the uppercut, or the tough love within this spiritual house. So it's closing out for many of us on many different levels. But the 144 is like at another degree of it. It means those are the ones that have been, let's say, mining their souls deeply, intensely. The light warriors, the ones who are not letting up on themselves, who are not giving in, and who has more let's say spiritual maturity or spiritual discipline. Even if they don't know, they don't have to necessarily know any of these terminologies. They may not know 5D, but it's really what you're working on within yourself, that in your soul self, that is elevating you on these timelines, and within this light grid, right? For the most part, I'm going to say most of the 144, they are aware of the light grid. They are aware of the timelines. They actually have been feeling themselves time travel or time lapse. They have been feeling the timelines collapsing, right? Because we have our individual timelines that are collapsing, and we have our collective timelines that are collapsing. So this Saturn, that is exiting, it's leaving Pisces. It's been rounding us up since March of 2023. Like, get your affairs in order, holding us accountable, especially as the planets have been passing through their checkpoints, right? It's like every time a planet has passed Saturn, especially the personal planets, it's been a checkpoint that has been causing our Mars to level up like heck, and been causing our Venus even to level up, especially as it passes them in the spiritual house. It's like, come on, get your whole acts together. Get everything together, especially Mars, because Mars wants to, fire, take initiative, have that compassion, sometimes be impulsive. And Saturn is like, hey, I'm gonna need you to man up, Mars. I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more responsible with how you want to take action, or how you may be on impulse to do something. So it's really causing Mars to be like, okay, I'm gonna behave myself. I need to be a little bit more mature, right? And the same thing with Venus. It's been causing Venus to really look at herself in terms of love, like our love lives, our finances. It's like, hey, you can't just do what you want to do with people, or with yourself with people, or you can't just do what you want to do with money like that. I need you to have some accountability, and even understanding what this really is, right? And all of this while Neptune has been there. So it's these checkpoints have been helping us to break certain illusions that we have had as well in our personal, affairs, with our personal planets passing through. So that's just to give a little one to it with what Saturn has been doing up in there. And now it's exiting, it's coming out, it's leaving, it's at the final degrees, which means it's at the analytical degrees. It's closing out. It's where we should be looking at the whole picture now and saying, okay, what is it that I need to holistically have accountability for? Right? And especially the 144. For the 144, that ascendant group, it's really shaking down the residue, the debris and the residue that is, because for the most part, you've been having the accountability, you've been checking, you've been soul excavating, doing the shadow work, you've been in that soul work. And it's just asking you to shake down the little bits and pieces, or giving us a chance to look back and say, yeah, I need to really clear that. So it's a clearing and it's a closing out as it's passing the North Node. And a North Node, which takes us into our destiny, the trajectory of where we're heading. North Node in Pisces is taking us more into fulfillment of our spiritual nature, of our divine spiritual nature in our house. So this is why we needed that shakedown. And it's like, as they're passing the energetic exchange, like this is the Passover. And as this Passover is happening, it's almost like it's saying this is the end of the old paradigm. This is the end of the old paradigm as we know it, as we enter into spiritual leaders. Let me see if I can at least even share that piece of the the paradigm with you, that piece of the information that I was getting. So it's basically saying that it closes out. Okay, yeah, I got it. This Saturn Passover, right? Passover, the North Node, at this point closes out the old paradigm of misguided rulership and frees the spiritual house into soul sovereignty of true leadership into the new paradigm. Those ones of the 144 frequency order are the paradigm shifters of this time. So this is happening for everyone, but these 144 ascendants are truly the paradigm shifters, like really shifting the paradigms. These are the true Uranus rebels, right? Most of those people have their Uranus in either Leo, Leo, Scorpio, and probably any one of the fixed houses, because it's fixed on breaking this and having this radical change, right? So this is what's happening as this Passover is happening, and they're going like in opposite directions. Saturn checking out and North Node checking in, and it's like as Saturn is checking out, it's dropping its, hey, let go and release, closing all these old paradigms, letting go the residue from whatever has held us there with the contraband in our mind, releasing all of that. And then it's like high five, like passing it over, like now you go, now you get a pass, and we're ready going into the direction of our North Node. Now this is happening for everyone, like I said, but how we're dealing with it is different. It all depends on if you're aware of it at all. Like some people are clueless to it, so they may not even know. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just depends on how they are internalizing and handling the frequencies, right? So it could mean that they are just having heavy, it depends on how much level of resistance you have, to keep it simple, right? The least resistance, the better they are to navigate through these frequencies. So even if they're not the 144, they're at least shifting in their timeline. They're at least successful. If they have least resistance, you're a bit more successful in this Passover, and even for you shifting timelines, right? And especially at this important time where the timelines are splitting. This 3D 5D split is major, right? There's like a major earthquake in the atmosphere happening. It's like, I want to say it's an atmosphere quake, right? Which will show up in the earth physically. We will see a geological earthquake because it's that major in the atmospheric realm, which is, the fifth dimension, the fifth element of spirit, the fifth of everything, 555. Right? And that's even another thing. If you've been seeing these numbers, I'll do a different video on that. If you've been seeing these numbers like 555, and I'll just throw that out now since I mentioned it. Those are the ones that are being called to pay attention to change, to radical change, that they're either finding it, or they're bringing it, or they are being the change, or they need to be acquiring change. Like it could be the universe telling you it is time for you to have a radical change, because that change is a part of this shift, right? So Saturn passing, this conjunct today on the 21st, Saturn passing, I believe it's at 26 degrees, 2 and 6 is 8. So there's that 8 of infinity, infinite access. Remember, if we break the infinite lock, which is what it's asking us to do, what we've been asked to do since we were in Universal Year 8 last year, to come out of that infinite lock and that infinite loop. So this is one of those opportunities that's, I would say, a great cosmic shift that is happening, that can also allow you to get out of that infinite loop and into your infinite access. And remember, what gives you access? Accountability. Accountability gives you access to transcendence. You do not transcend without accountability. Remember, as soon as you have true accountability, it's almost like the universe goes, access granted. Here you go. On to the next timeline. Welcome to 5D, where we serve all your fifth dimensional needs. Like there's this whole cosmic integration that is happening right now. It's real beautiful, but it could be real ugly before it gets beautiful. So what I would advise is that you walk with your ugly until it becomes beautiful. First step is admit that you see something ugly, and then embrace it and say, I'm gonna walk with you until it becomes beautiful. Because it's a beautiful experience to be had if we allow ourselves to have what we should or must have, right, in our soul unfolding journey. So the 144, we got work to do. And this is a call, as I close that out with this information here, because I'm going into a live after this, but I wanted to at least set this video. May not post it till after the live. There is a call to those 144. If you feel that this resonates with you, it's not for everybody, but you know who you are and where you are in your soul journey. If you're being honest with yourself, you are probably feeling some of the signs is that you may be feeling your body suspending itself from certain things that you normally would do. You may feel the pulsation of the earth, the vibrations. This is the high definition HD of 5D, and you may feel one of the other signs, dreams. It could be certain dreams. One of the signs also is if you know that all your life you've always felt, and I know everyone is always, most of us here have always felt, like different, but this is like to another level. Like all your life you've always really stood out differently, like rebel without a cause type of stood out differently. Like no matter what, you would go against the grain. Like you would never just do because everybody else is doing, and you have no problems really going against something when you see that there's no truth to it, even though everyone else may be going along because that's just what's happening. You've always felt like no. And this is from younger days to recent. It's these things that kind of stand out as being on a different frequency a little bit, but just probably not as developed. These times right now, there is a high development of these evolved souls, star seeds even, that are here and ready for this transmission at this point in time. So if this is for you, this is that call to action. Find a group. If you haven't, feel free to contact me at divineenergystudio@gmail.com, because we're going to put together, there's going to be a 144 type group. I'm still getting the information as I'm getting the downloads, but if you don't, find somewhere to connect with. Find a group, because there's other groups out there that are doing either transmissions. If you hear about transmission, activation, meditations, things like that, come together so we can do a transmission. Like these are the 144 that are calling it all in, right? So I put that call to action out there, or you may be being called to begin that group, even if it's not on a channel, maybe wherever you are. It doesn't have to be big, but it's time to take it to that next level. And it's time, you're going to sense a lot of us are coming together, specifically probably this day. We'd probably feel it strong on the 21st if you go to sleep and do some type of meditation. A lot of the 144 will be connecting in the ethers. All right, there's going to be like already this ascension connection, type of integration. So you may be feeling it. You may wake up and feel as if you went somewhere and you made that connection, right? So I put that call out for those who align with that. A part of that call is to also call out to those, in case those of you who may have missed the Mars-Uranus conjunction when we all linked up or came together around August, around the time of the 888 Lionsgate, also known as Halls of Amenti. So in case you've missed that and you might have been in alignment, and now is another opportunity to catch those destined coordinates. So if you're Mars or your Uranus, but more specifically, I'm getting more of the Mars for some reason. So if your Mars is in Leo or has any of the aspects of Leo, whether squared or trined or maybe even sextile, then DM, not D, I keep saying DM, email, email me at divineenergystudio@gmail.com. If your Uranus is also in alignment with those coordinates of being either in Leo, Taurus, or any of those aspects, right? Squared, so forth. Feel free. Check your natal chart. Check your natal chart and see, and especially if anything else that I said has resonated with you, plus your Mars and Uranus lines up, oh, universe is like, that's you. So it's up for you to answer that call. I can only send the signal out. Toot, 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 toot. I'm putting it out on the bandwidth of the light grid. So it's for you to find that lighthouse and see if it's not this lighthouse, what lighthouse or what light colony you are to align with, because it's time for us to take that next step on this journey as the timelines are splitting. Ashe. So again, happy Saturn and North Node conjunction. The PassOver is happening. What are you passing over? What are you releasing? What are you letting go? And get ready to step into your forward movement, your forward trajectory of your spiritual house, right? North Node in Pisces. So get ready for your next timeline. It is time to quantum leap and shift dimensionally in your multi-dimensional soul. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.